Hello, and welcome to the Manifestation Podcast with Peggy McColl. Peggy is a world-renowned wealth, business, and manifestation expert, as well as the best-selling author of the brand new book, The Demand Principle. Are you ready to manifest your dreams? Tune in now. Welcome, everyone. This episode of the Manifestation Podcast is taken from a live stream where Peggy shares how you can create a success identity. Enjoy.
All right, we are live. Welcome. We're live on Facebook. Welcome. We are live on YouTube. Welcome. And we are now going live on Instagram. There we go. Checking the connection, making sure it's all good to go. And we are live. And I want to wish you all a happy Canada Day. If you're in Canada and you happen to be celebrating Canada Day, it is one of my favorite days of the year. I'm all ready for celebrating. I've got my little Canada Day hat here. It doesn't fit very well, and it certainly is messing my hair. I have another one over there. But anyways, what we're here for is to share with you the ways to create the identity of a successful person and how to really step into that identity and be that person who is succeeding in the way that you would love to succeed. And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to be addressing some questions, and I want to welcome you guys. It's so good to see you here. Happy Canada Day. Same to you. And let you know that we will be addressing questions. We've had a couple of questions that have been submitted in advance, which I'll definitely get to those questions. But I want to start with giving you some tips and suggestions on really creating a powerful identity. And I'm seeing people here. Hey, Sue, good to see you here. And Laurette is here. Tammy's here. I see many people who are joining us here live today who are very great students, very devoted students of success. Vladdy's here. Good to see you, Vladdy. And I think it's phenomenal to be committed to success and to continue to work on yourself. And that is the one thing that we've heard from many masters, many great speakers and teachers, that one of the best things that you can do for yourself is work on yourself, like really expand and bring out a greater and grander version of who you are. So I'm going to give you 2 tips for really creating that identity of success. And the first one is to suggest that when you sit down and you really evaluate your goals, the things that you would love to experience in your life. And here we are, it is July 1st. And one of the things that I have started to do, I got into a new habit of doing this. And the habit that I've gotten into is writing a list of demands for the month at the beginning of the month. Another thing that I did in June is that I also wrote myself a letter. And in the letter, I wrote down how grateful I was to have accomplished everything that I had set for myself in the month of June. And I suggest you do the same thing. It's July 1st. Take some time today writing yourself a letter. But what you do is you seal the letter and then you put it away and you write yourself a note in a month from now, or at the last day of the month, that you make yourself a note, put it in your agenda, and then open that letter and read it and really connect to what you said to yourself. So set some demands today. And when you set those demands, what I suggest that you do is think from a place of absolutely no limits. Whatever you would love to do this month, whatever you would love to accomplish, write out those things. Now, if you have an accountability partner, which I do, Brian Proctor is my accountability partner. He's one of them. Ariel Ford is another one of my accountability partners. Send your list to your accountability partners as well, or partner if you have one. And if not, get one. And you're going to find that that will make a big difference. The other thing is when you're looking at your goals, the things that you've set for yourself, what you would love to accomplish. And of course, goals are always designed to stretch you. Not only are goals designed to have you experience, many great benefits in your life, but they will stretch you. And what happens is you ultimately bring out a greater and a grander version of who you are, because you've got so much power and so much potential within you. And I'm quite certain most people don't even know that, and they certainly don't understand it, and they certainly don't bring out the best version of you. But you're here and you're watching this, hopefully you're paying attention. And I'm all about following through as well. The doingness is really important. So that's why, I often will give suggestions and provide tools and resources and things like that. So when you're thinking about the goals that you would love to accomplish in your life, I want you to think about who is the person that has accomplished those goals. So if we think about somebody who's, let's say, an entrepreneur, like I am, and you've set some targets for yourself for the month, well, who is the person that's going to accomplish that? Somebody who's devoted, somebody who's dedicated, somebody who's committed, someone who's optimistic, somebody who is bringing value to the world, like whatever it is, you get to create the identity of the person that's a match for the goods that you desire. And so, really think about this. And this is all about you, and it's all about your life, and it's all about you accomplishing more in your life. So, sit down and invest some time thinking about what you would personally love to be experiencing in your life. That's a great place to start. And then, right beside it, write out the characteristics of the identity of the person who has accomplished all of that. It is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. All right. Also, I do want to let you know that today, and just a few minutes ago, in fact, we emailed all of our subscribers. So, anyone who's a subscriber to any of my lists, we emailed out something called the Manifestation Target. Now, this idea came to me about a week ago. And so, the reason why this idea popped into my mind is because Bob Proctor was delivering the Paradigm Shift event last weekend, which I was very blessed to be a part of. And I just love that man. I mean, the teachings that Bob Proctor has brought to this world has made such a big difference in my life. So Bob was talking about how you hold an idea or hold your goal or demand with your will. And the will is a mental faculty. And the will, when you hold something with your will, what you're doing is you're giving it focus and attention and energy, right? And so when you're focusing on your goal, your big goal, your C goal, as Bob calls it, or your stretch goal, as I like to call it, and you're imagining that you've already accomplished that and you hold it with your will. Now, I'm holding my heart because, our will, we think of our will, the will that we have to hold an idea is in our mind, but it's all connected. It really is connected. Your heart is really a full body experience. And so because Bob was talking, an image popped in my mind. And the image that popped in my mind was an image of a target, kind of like a bullseye with maybe like a dartboard, right? Like with the round circles, and in the middle there's a bullseye. And of course, the bullseye is, where you're locked on target. The bullseye is where you want to get to. And so I saw this image and I went on Google and I just downloaded an image. And then I put some words around this document that I just created with some insert text boxes. And then I put my goal right in the middle. I printed it out and then I thought, I'm going to use this as a technique to hold my focus, like a daily exercise to narrow in and focus on this goal and really emotionally get connected to this goal has already been materialized. And so I had designed this just for myself, and any of the tools that I ever share with people, whether they're tools that I include in my programs or whether they're tools that I share on stage or when I'm speaking at other people's events, they've all been beneficial to me and all helped me significantly. And I love sharing them. And that's why we created this thing called the Manifestation Toolbox, so that we could give you tools to help you get to where you want to go. And we're constantly adding new things to the Manifestation Toolbox, as we did this morning. And I say we, it was really Trace that did it. And Trace Haskins, who is my business partner, he lives in Austria. When the idea popped in my mind to create this thing called the Manifestation Target, I actually emailed him a photo of what I had created for myself. And I asked him to replicate it and create one so that we could give it away, so we could give it to anyone and everyone as a gift. And so everyone that's on this call right now, you can go to Manifestation Toolbox, and I know Celine's putting the link in for you. Go to manifestationtoolbox.com, and you'll be able to access that tool as well as many other tools and resources that we have available for you. But I also want to encourage you to tell other people about it as well. I would love for you to do that. for them. I mean, yes, it's for me too, but tell other people. I actually asked Trace to add that to the email that he just sent out to our subscriber base a few minutes ago. And I said, add that to the list because I want people to know that they can absolutely share it. And so one lovely lady responded and said, well, I have 90 people I want to share it with. Is that okay? It's like, yes, if you had 900,000 people, it's okay. So please share it with other people. You may even, for those of you that are coaches in the world or you're running your own business and you're doing this work in the personal development field, you are more than welcome to use my tools, but keep, my tools with the stuff on it that I have, like PeggyMcColl.com. But yes, you can certainly use them as well. I'm very happy to see the work out there in the world really making a difference. Now, the other suggestion that I have for really creating the identity of a successful person is a suggestion of something that I did many, many years ago for myself. And I actually created a tool for my son as well. And it's called an identity board. And the identity board is created with a Bristol board, like a piece of like cardboard that you can get at any Business Depot store, office supply store. And so what I did was I got this piece of Bristol board and I put my photo in the middle. And then around the photo, I put all these words of sort of adjectives to describe who I am. So, and on the top of it, I said, who is this woman anyway? And it would be things like determined, persistent, great sense of humor, successful, worthy, she matters, like things like that, just to really build the identity, build belief systems within me. And I did it all in different colors. And I had a nice photo right in the middle, which I just printed off my computer. And what I did with my identity board is what I did with mine is I actually had it framed. You don't have to have it framed. For many, many years, I didn't have it framed. I just had it sort of, pinned to the wall. And I actually placed my identity board directly beside the bed, my bed. And so what I did was when I wake up in the morning, it would be the first thing that I'd see. And it would remind me to step into the shoes, or in some cases, of course, I'm working from home, so I have slippers on. Step into the slippers of the person who has achieved these goals. And so it was a great reminder, right, to really reinforce all of those words that were on this board. And like an achiever and multimillionaire and all kinds of words like that, just describing this individual who had exceeded and succeeded in life. And so at night I would look at it as well before I went to bed, and I would look at the identity board and I would just say, is this who I was today? Is this how I showed up today in this world? Things like loving and kind and giving and generous, and there were many, many words around it. And so it was a wonderful reminder to really be that person and step into that person. Our greatest critic tends to be ourselves. We get upset with ourselves and, set objectives, get off track. It's like we've got to really learn to be easy on ourselves, but not let go of our disciplines and not let go of our goals, but just, we're going to do the best we can with what we know. Right. And so you've got to just honor yourself. And of course, if you're someone who is really committed to making a difference and you're really committed to growth in your own life, then the more you do, the better it's going to go. But it takes time. And I think that can become challenging for some people, is just how much time does it take to really start to experience the positive change? And, I've been at this for 41 years, meaning studying personal development. And of course, I've had my business for over 25 years in this field. And it is a constant opportunity, is the best word that comes to mind, for growth. It's constantly an opportunity to really improve and become a better version of who you are. So building that identity is really, really important. And I want to encourage all of you, follow those suggestions that I've given here. Also, I have something that I deliver 3 times a week in video format. They're short messages to help you manifest, and they're called Morning Manifestation. And it's another option that you can subscribe to and receive these videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you get an email notification that a new one came out. And this morning's video for morning manifestation was how to build a strong sense of self or self-esteem. So you may want to check that out as well. And you can find out information about that at Morning Manifestation or inside the Manifestation Toolbox as well. Okay, so what I'd love to do now is I'm going to go to the questions that have been submitted in advance. We've had a couple questions that were submitted. If you have a question, you can type it in either on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and Celine will grab them and she'll copy them and paste them for me, and I'll address your questions as well. And I love the questions that have been submitted already. We've got a wonderful question here from Millie. And I'm not sure if Millie's watching. Is Millie here? Millie, are you here? Are you on one of these three platforms? And if not, here's Millie's question. She says, Peggy, sometimes prior to manifesting something, I'm in the feeling and the knowing that it will happen. In the process, I get so involved with the feeling that I get sickly and have a headache. What can I do to not get too overwhelmed and too overextended? By the way, is this even normal? Well, that's a great question. And is it normal? No, I don't know. I actually don't think I've ever heard that question before. So it may be normal. I just am not aware of if it's normal or not. And even if it is, what does it really matter? But what's very relevant here is that you're really paying attention to how you're feeling. You see, what happens is when you get a goal, a new goal that you're focused on, and you hold it with your will, then what happens is your paradigms, which are the belief systems that literally control everything about you, they control your thinking, your speaking, your feelings, your actions, your behaviors, and of course, your paradigms are reflected by your results. And therefore, if you're looking to produce different results, you've got to change the paradigms, right? The belief systems. And that's why I created something called the Power Life Script, because it's so important to really, build that belief system. But what will happen is, and this is for Millie, what happens is the moment that you decide to make a change and to focus on something new, your body just starts to, sort of vibrate differently. And of course, the way the new vibration is not the norm, right? It's not the way you typically are or feel. And therefore, your paradigms will do something that Bob Proctor calls put up a royal battle. And they fight you. And they only fight you because paradigms are designed because we're such robotic beings, we're such habitual beings. Paradigms are really designed to keep you consistently doing the same things and thinking the same things and acting the same way. And of course, producing similar results unless you change, right? Unless you make a committed decision that you're going to change something. Therefore, what I suggest is just stick with it, because what will happen is you've got to relax in the knowing that it's already done. Now, just think about this for a moment. If you knew, I can hear my little doggy crying back there. What's up, Bella? Do you want to come and see the people? Why are you crying? There's my little girl. She got her hair done yesterday. She's probably hungry because she hasn't even eaten breakfast yet. She's like a teenager who's sleeping most of the day, and I'll definitely feed her as soon as we wrap up today. There you go, baby. Want to go down? Yeah. So back to paradigms. So when you're in that place of focusing on what you desire, and you know that it's already done, what are you going to be feeling? Well, typically you'd be feeling relaxed and perhaps grateful. Maybe you're feeling relieved. So what I would do is, Millie, is I would seek to really practice and get into the experience of feeling as if what you desire is already yours. All right. Like really feel it. Because if you're feeling emotions outside of what you would feel were your goals already manifested, then you're not in alignment. So it's maybe just a little adjustment, but I absolutely have faith you're going to get there. So just practice it. It's using your imagination, and I see it working really well for you. All right, the next question that I have here, and I love this question. This is a beautiful question from a wonderful lady by the name of Karen. And so I believe Karen's on today. I'm not sure which platform she's on. Celine will probably be able to let me know. But here's Karen's question. And I love this question. She says, I love the morning manifestation. She's talking about the videos, Never Give Up, which was one I did on Monday this week, by the way. She said the synchronicity of the timing was amazing and so appreciated. And I just want to stop for a moment and let you know, I can't tell you how many times I hear that about the timing of the message that lands. And it's like that expression, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So then she says, my question is this: when you have done everything, or think you have, studied, visualized, done affirmations, inspired work, and you do not achieve a major goal that you desired, what does that mean and how do you move forward? In creating my neonatal research empire, I applied for an NIH grant. Our idea is amazing, the biomedical device brilliant, and the grant brilliantly written, but you do not get the grant. In fact, in the first round of the grant was not even advanced, the discussion phase. What does this mean? And what can I do differently to bring my dream of getting this idea funded to fruition? Thanks in advance. All right, so it could be just the timing is off. All right, if you really are in alignment with your goal, if you really are feeling as if it has already been accomplished, the way will be revealed to you. It might be another way. You see, we cannot tell the universe how things are going to happen. We can set outcomes. We can put ourselves into the spirit of the goal already being manifested, and everything that's requisite for the fulfillment of it will be drawn to us. Now, what you mentioned in your question, Karen, is funded. So perhaps it's not a grant. So when I was reading your question this morning, which Celine had sent to me in advance, that was my intuitive hit. There's another way. And here's what I also believe. There's always a way when you are committed. So stay committed to it. Stay aligned. If you're aligned, it's going to happen. It always does, and it always works. Allow the universe to reveal to you other ways that this can happen for you. There are always other ways. And you may or may not have heard me share the story of 25 years ago when I made a decision to purchase a home, and I didn't have the money to do it, but I made the intention. I set a goal, and then I signed my name on a legally binding contract to show the universe I'm serious about this. And the money actually came to me from unexpected ways, a way I would have never even imagined if someone said to me, well, how do you think the money's going to come to you? First of all, you don't have to know how. Our responsibility, your responsibility, my responsibility is to feel as if it's here now, but you don't have to know how it's going to happen, but you must feel as if it's already happened. So that's what I did. And that's what I did over and over again. And ultimately ended up making the money to close the deal from a stock transaction, from an IPO, initial public offering of a company that I was working for. I had no idea that was even a possibility before I even began the process. So I want you to know that. Just stick with it. It sounds like you're doing all the right things, Karen. Good for you. And just know that it will happen. But you have to feel as if it's already done. Feel it, know it, and the success will be yours. All right. I understand there's some more questions here. Thank you, Celine, for pasting them. There's a question here from, a few more are coming in here. Lorenzo, in respect to manifesting my dream home, do I have to verbally commit to buying the home with a realtor in spite of not having the money yet, like Peggy did in her book? You know, you've got to do what feels right for you. Okay. And I've talked about that on a number of occasions. I love the question, by the way. And so when I made a decision that I was going to purchase the home, I have a belief about myself that if I make a commitment, I'll follow through. I'll find a way. You've got to know whether you feel comfortable with doing that. The whole experience was uncomfortable for me because I didn't have the money, but I knew enough about the laws of the universe and about going for your dream, even though you don't know how you're going to get to it, and really believing in myself. So I developed such a great, strong faith in myself and the universe. So I went ahead with it, but it's your decision. You've got to make it based on how you're feeling. The next question here is a question from Alpha Red. Is it best to focus on your main goal, whether it's income, house, or focus on a stepping stone goal leading to your ideal goal? How do you find the balance? Okay, so for me, it's not about balance. It's about going for what you love. So main goal. It's the goal. It's the number one goal that you would love to accomplish. That's what you focus on, not the stepping stone. All right. Go for the goal, put it right in the middle, see yourself in possession with it right now, and really work with what we teach here, and you'll manifest it. The next question is a question from Kanik. Ma'am, I have a question. It's easy to manifest 1 million in 1 month easily rather than 3 billion. Take too much time, I think. Well, Napoleon Hill said, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand prosperity and abundance than it is to accept misery and poverty. But there is an aspect of manifesting, and it's called the law of gestation. And the law of gestation decrees that there is a period of time that will elapse before all things manifest into form. Now, logically, the way that we're wired as human beings is that we would think that would take a lot more time to manifest billions versus millions. And why would we say that? Well, we'd say that because of history, because of what we know, right? Because of evidence. However, the teachers teach to deny the evidence of the senses and to pursue your goals. So what does it mean, deny the evidence of the senses? It means stop looking at present results and getting emotionally involved in that and expect to accomplish something else. It will never, ever work. So you've got to feel as if whatever it is that you desire is here now, right now in this moment, and really embrace that, wrap your arms around it, give it so much love, and just feel the gratitude of that being your experience now. And that's what you do. So whatever it is that you want, go for it. Like, billion, million, whatever it happens to be. Billions is not my goal. It's not one of my purpose. I'm not desiring to have billions of dollars. Sure, you could probably do a lot of good in the world with billions of dollars, but I think you have to really, really do this. All right. You've got to be in love with your goal, like absolutely in love with your goal. And your goal should be an obsession, something that you think about in the morning when you wake up and you're thinking about all day, not in a negative way, not in a bad way, not in a holy crap way, but in a loving way, in a grateful way. You're walking around just feeling so grateful for whatever it is that you desire as if it's here now. All right. That's an obsession. It's what you think about. On Sunday, we released a podcast, the Manifestation Podcast. And again, you can find out more about that by going to manifestationpodcast.com and subscribe to it as well. We've put out 20 episodes so far, and we put out 2 episodes a week. And so we'll be releasing another one today, I believe. And so on Sunday, our release was a release of a podcast that I did with a very special person in my life by the name of Louise Tremblay, or LL Tremblay is her author name. And she wrote a book recently, which will be released on the 21st of July. And I'll be letting you all know about that. And I've known Louise for well over 20 years. She's a friend of mine. She was a client of mine to begin with, and she wrote this amazing book. But why I mentioned Louise is that Louise is making her dreams come true. And the reason why Louise is making her dreams come true is because she's obsessed with it in a good way, And she talked about that in the episode, and it's short. It's only like 20, 25 minutes long. So listen to it. It's a great interview, and it's a great message. And it really talks about how you become obsessed with your goal, which I think is a very healthy thing to do. It's a healthy obsession. I think that's a better way to describe it. Okay, we've got a couple more questions, and we're going to call it a wrap for today. Fiona says, I love the revision process from the demand principle. Can you speak for a minute about this process? Thank you from Ireland. Absolutely, Fiona, and welcome. It's so good to see you here. Okay, so the revision process, this is where, let's say there's something that you've been waiting for, or maybe I don't know, money coming in your bank or whatever, something to happen in your life that you would love. And perhaps, we can use the example of Karen, right? So Karen was talking about, getting the funding for her project. And so let's say something happens that wasn't reflective of what you desire. The revision process involves, as you're getting ready to drift off into sleep, you're revising your day. So rather than what happened, which wasn't what you desired to have happen, what you imagine, and this is using your mental faculty called imagination, what you're imagining in your mind is that it did happen. And so you're laying in bed and you're thinking about, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful I got the funding for my project. But you really embrace it. Like you've got to connect to it as if this really happened, right? We sent out a message the other day about fake it till you make it or act as if. It's really an act as if principle. It's acting as if and feeling as if it's already done. And that's what you want to do, is feel as if it's already done. So whatever it is that you desire to experience in your life, just pick one thing, pick 10 things, pick whatever it is that you want and revise your day to have that experience emotionally of what you desire to experience. And then you drift off into sleep thinking about that. Thank you, Fiona, for asking. Okay, one more question. We're going to call it a wrap. And it is from Aisha, who says, I keep making excuses for not doing my gratitude journal, affirmations, and other 7-day miracle exercises. Is there anything you can advise for stopping this laziness, especially since I'm free nowadays? All right. Well, first of all, I love that you're doing that and committed to doing that. So I'm going to ask you right now, are you committed to doing it for the next 7 days and beyond, of course? Commit to me that you're going to do it. And then what I'd love you to do, Aisha, is send me an email in 7 days saying that you did it. By the way, for those of you that are wondering what the 7-day miracle is, you'll find it on the manifestationtoolbox.com. And so I also have on the manifestation toolbox is a checklist. Print it or write it out. Make sure that you stay committed to doing these things for 7 days. So that you check it off every day. You may also want to get an accountability partner, someone who agrees to do it with you. And then with that person, you commit to keep each other accountable. So start with day 1, stick to it for a day. Just take it 1 day at a time. All right, 1 day at a time, stick with it, get an accountability buddy. And I have absolute faith you're going to do it. You're going to follow through. All right, everyone. Well, I wish you a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it is for you. It's always my pleasure to be with you, to serve you. We come back every week. We do these calls. I take questions if you have questions for me. But please head on over to the Manifestation Toolbox. Check it out. Make sure that you really dive into all the tools that I've created there for you, and tell your friends, tell your relatives, tell your prospects, tell your clients, tell anybody and everybody about it. Okay. That's something that I would love for you to do for me. No obligation, but I'd really love it if you did it. I really want to get this work out to millions of people in the world. And I know that, you can help me with that as well. All right. So I wish you a wonderful day. Happy manifesting, happy Canada Day to our Canadian friends. And I want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys. All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in to the Manifestation Podcast with Peggy McColl. Take your learning deeper by signing up for the free morning manifestation videos at morningmanifestation.com. And follow Peggy on all social media channels for daily updates. See you again.
To get my latest book, The Demand Principle, and to obtain all of the special bonus gifts, you can go right now to thedemandprinciple.com. Again, that URL is thedemandprinciple.com.